Hello, viewers. Welcome to our YouTube channel, BIGBEN, the language school. This is our first session for learning Russian language. और आज हमारे रशियन लैंग्वेज में ये लेसन 1 में हमारे जो एक्सपर्ट ट्रेनर अवेलेबल हैं मिस्टर अनिल कुमार सर. गुड आफ्टरनून सर.
Good afternoon, ma'am. How are you?
आई एम गुड. हाउ आर यू सर?
Uh, I'm also fine. I'm also fine, ma'am. I'm also
So,
fine. So, hello everyone. How are you?
so what we are going to learn in this particular language learning class, sir?
So, as this is lesson one, and in this, first of all, we will be, having some introduction, some interesting points, facts about Russian language, and then we will be covering the alphabet part in this lesson one. Yeah. So, first of all, I would like to introduce the Russian language to you. Little interesting facts or little important points to be noted if
Yes, sir.
one wants to learn Russian as a language.
Mm-hmm.
So, first of all, I would like to let you know that if we talk about, first of all, what comes in our mind is how many people use this as their first language, because you are going to have communication with as many as many language as many people as possible. That seems uh, pretty good to one who wants to aspire for Russian language. So if we talk about the native speakers are those people who use Russian as their first language. Okay, so if we talk about the native number of people who use Russian as their first language, it's around 150 million, which is a huge number. Now let's talk about those people who use Russian as their second or third languages. Okay, maybe outside Russia, you may say. Okay, so you may say outside speakers. Okay, and outside speakers, they contribute around 100 million, which is again a huge number. So a total, if you count the total number of speakers on this planet who use Russian, it's almost, or you may say more than 250 million, which is a huge, a massive number. Fine. Now let's talk about a little like from where Russian language originated, and what is the script of this Russian language, where it is being spoken. So, if we talk about Russian, it's a Slavonic language. We people say East Slavonic, but we will consider this as a Slavonic language. It's a language which comes from Slavonic family. And what does Slavonic means here? That language or those languages which are have been used in, you may say, Northern Asia. Okay, Northern Asia basically is you may say Russia. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Northern Asian region and Eastern Europe. Eastern
Europe.
Europe.
Okay.
Maybe, yes, maybe some, you may say like Soviet Union countries, Belarus and Russia, and some, and Polish is also has got some influence from this. So above all, 6 to 7 countries which were in Soviet Union. They basically are mostly use this or they mostly come under this language family which uses Cyrillic as their script. Like we have in English Roman, we have in Hindi Devanagari. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
similarly they use Cyrillic for their script. Okay,
Okay.
it's like Cyrillic script. This is completely, you may say almost completely different from the Roman script that we know in English, but there are little similarities which we will see or which we will cover in, the alphabet section. And yes, Russian is a language which is of great importance. It's first and foremost, it's sorry, Russia being a permanent member of UN. This language is not or never going to be obsolete or out of you may say trained. Okay, this is one of the most important fact about Russian language. Okay, and then you can have, lots of other career opportunities, maybe uh, in various MNCs. You can be a translator, interpreter. You can be a tourist guide if you love, tour travel and adventure. And you can
Right.
also have, uh, uh, career opportunities in, huge, massive, pharmaceutical companies as well, because India and Russia, they have a very good, relationship, trade and business in pharmaceutical industry. Okay, so you can have as many as, lots of opportunities. You can sometimes also you can get government job opportunities as well. Okay,
Mhm.
because Russia and India are involved in a huge arms deal as well. Okay,
Right.
so you can have lots of career opportunities. Yeah. Okay.
Sir, one more question I need to ask. See, the
Yes,
thing
ma'am.
is, in Russian language, see,
Mhm.
in Russia, how many language are there? Is it only Russian language, or there are also other languages also?
No, see, they only use Russian because there
Mhm.
is no, and there might be, like in India, we have Hindi and we have some, regional variations. Okay,
Okay,
like
okay,
if you see the Hindi of Haryana, Punjab, Bihar, UP, Rajasthan, and South Indian Hindi, they all use the same Hindi, but there may be some, difference in dialect or regional accent. Okay, so
mhm.
there is only one language which is Russian, and you may find some variations in, their accent and their just because of the regional variations. Okay.
Okay, okay. And see, how
Yes,
many,
ma'am.
which countries speak Russian language only?
Basically Soviet Union countries like Russia, Belarusia, and Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan. These 6 to 7 countries are
Okay.
there, which basically are were basically
Mhm.
affected by the Cyrillic script, or maybe you can say they come under Slavonic languages. That's why they use Cyrillic script. And Russian, most importantly, its major point of use is Russia. Okay, and you may say um, after the collapse of Soviet Union,
Okay.
there were certain differences in languages and all as well because of some uh, you may say variations, regional differences. Okay,
Okay.
they have
Right.
also modified their languages a little, but the script remained same. Yeah.
So one more question I need to ask, sir. See, is a Russian
Yes, ma'am.
language easy to learn, or is it tough?
Okay. Okay. Russian language. I would say it's not very easy and not very complex, which you might have heard. It's I would say if you can devote a little time, and if you have that much clarity which is needed, not you don't have to devote the whole day, or you don't have to devote just 10 minutes of your time. No, you at least 1 or 2 hours if you can devote every single day, and you have the right clarity, you have the approach, right approach, I mean, basically I mean, by which, without putting in that much effort, you can get the desired result or desired output. There are certain, you can say, uh, I don't believe in shortcuts, but yes, Russian is a language where in most of the at most of the places, if you can understand things very easily, why you have to dig it deep down. Okay, so without, I would say, with the help of some shortcuts as well, you may make it little convenient, little easy for you to learn. And yes, once your foundation is clear, you will enjoy learning Russian a lot, because it's logical. Basically, Russian language, when you see the Russian grammar, it uses lots of tables, lots of conjugations, lots of suffixes, and for that, that basically to you may say tests your presence of mind. And if you learn Russian, your presence of mind will also, the focus will also improve. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yes, ma'am.
can you teach me some alphabets for the Russian language?
For sure, for sure, for sure,
Yes, sir.
ma'am. For
Yes,
sure.
sir.
I'm going to introduce you with the all the alphabets, fine, one by one. and we will also see how many. First, let's have some introduction about the alphabet part. Okay,
Okay.
so yes, if we talk about the alphabet, the first thing that comes in mind is the script. And script, we already know it's Cyrillic. Okay, and just a minute. Cyrillic script. And yes, a
Cyrillics.
total of yes, a total of 33 letters are there in Russian language. Okay, out of which some say 20, some say 21. Okay, consonants, because one letter is a little controversial, so we may assume 21 consonants are there in Russian language, and 10 of them, out of these total 33, are vowels, and two are just symbols. They don't have any sound, but they affect the sound of other letters when they are, succeeded by, or not succeeded, you may say, when a letter comes just before these symbols. If you write any letter just before these symbols, these two symbols, the letters, those letters will be little affected. So that we will see later on. Okay,
Okay, sir.
so this is all about the alphabet. Now let's talk about all the letters individually, one by one. Yes, if you
Yeah.
have any questions still here, you may ask me. Yeah,
No, no, sir. You can carry on, sir.
fine.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So now let's talk about the alphabet part. And before starting with the alphabet, I would like to make one thing clear here. Like, if we use M, one, every letter basically, especially consonants, they have two things: a name and a sound. The name of this letter is basically M. What we call it? M. The name of this letter is M. And whenever you need to spell a word, okay, you will use the names of every individual letter. But when you have to, pronounce that letter, when you want to have the pronunciation of that letter, then you will just use the sound of that letter, okay, for pronunciation. Okay,
Right.
pronunciation. Okay, for example,
Mm.
if you see, if I write, I'm using English here just to let you understand. Okay, if I ask you spell it, you will name every individual letter, no, while spelling Mango. So that's why I have written spell. While spelling, you need to name every single letter. But when I say what will be the pronunciation of this whole word, then you will use the sound, just the sound, m,
M.
mango.
Okay.
Yes, mango. You won't say a mango. You will say mango. Okay.
Okay. Mango.
So
Okay.
there is difference between the name and sound of a letter. When someone asks you to spell a word, you will use the name of every individual letter. And when someone asks you what will be the pronunciation of that word, then you will use individual sound. Okay, individual sound of that. For example, for M we use M, for N we use N, for G we use G. Okay,
Okay, sir.
fine. So on a similar note, in Russian consonants also we will have two things: the name and the sound. Name will be used when someone asks you to spell the word, and sound will be used when someone asks you to have the pronunciation of that particular word. Fine.
Right, sir.
And then we have the first letter. It looks like English. And for vowels, we have the name and sound same. We don't have, two different, name and sound. Okay, for vowels, name and sound remains consonant. Constant. Okay, same. And then we have the second letter. Okay, and this letter is bay. The name of this letter is bay, and the sound of this letter is b. B. Okay,
B.
when someone asks you, yes, to spell the word which has, be as letter, Okay, so you will have to name bear. I mean, you have to name it. And when bear is involved in a word and you want to have the pronunciation of that word, then you will use just burr. Like as I have told about you, about the mango. Okay,
Right, sir.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then we have the third letter. This letter again looks like English. This is where, and this is v. The name is where, and the sound is v. Okay, and
Right.
then we have the next letter. This is the name of this letter is ge, just like English G, and the sound is again just like English g. Okay,
Good. Okay.
yes, and then we have this next letter. This letter is de and
There.
the. There's the name and there is the sound. And Russians don't use the. Okay, they don't know how to say the. For example, if the word is there, dog. Okay, so what will happen? We say dog because we know that D sounds like the, but
The.
Russians don't know whether D sounds like the. They always say D as the. So how do they say it? Okay, how do they have the pronunciation of dog? They will say dog instead of dog. You might see Russians whenever they face D sound.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they sound like the, not the. We will say dog, but they will say dog. Okay,
Dog.
until or
Okay.
unless they are very trained. Okay,
Okay, sir.
okay, and then we have the next letter, and this is again a vowel, and this letter is ye, ye, ye,
Yeah.
and this is a vowel, of course. And there is one more, you may say, just a brother of this, with two dots at the top, and this sounds like yo, yo, yo.
Yo.
Fine. Yes, yeah. Okay.
Yes,
And after this, yes, and those letters where I'm writing just one, name and sound same, they are vowels. Okay, keep in mind they are vowels. And
vowels.
then we have, yes, and then we have the next letter. It's we don't have this letter in English. Neither we have this letter nor we have the sound. Okay, so this letter sounds like J or J. In Hindi, we have the sound J, J,
J.
J,
J.
J.
Okay.
Yes, and then we have the next letter. It sounds like J, J or J. In English, you may sometimes consider it as Z, Z for English, Z.
Z.
Okay,
Okay.
fine. And then we have, yes, after J, we have this E, and this is called hard E. Okay, this is called hard
Hard
E,
E.
and it sounds like, yes, E, E,
E.
E. Okay,
E. Okay, sir.
yes, yes, E. It's like double E, double E. I'll explain how you can differentiate between these two. Okay, and this is again a brother of this with half moon-like structure at the top, and this
Right.
is soft E. For example, we write sleep, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and we write slip. This double E is the hard E, and this I is soft E.
Soft E.
Sleep,
Okay.
slip.
Flip.
This is
Okay.
how you can differentiate. This is like E, and this is like I.
E.
Okay, this is like double E, E, and this is like I, E. Okay,
Okay, sir.
sleep, slip. Fine,
Flip.
and
Flip. Okay.
then we have, yes, and after this we have another letter, and this also we might have seen in English. This letter sounds like ka. I mean, the name of this letter is ka, and the sound is ka, just like English K. Okay, and then we have this letter. This letter, the name of this letter is L, and it also sounds like L of English. L, L. Okay, and then we have the next letter, and the name of this letter is just like English M, and it sounds like almost English M,
M.
as similar as as similar in English. Okay, and then we have the next letter. It looks like English H, but it's not H or H in Russian. It will be N. The name of this letter is N, and it sounds like N,
No.
N. Okay, and then we have a vowel, another vowel, and it sounds like English. O only, the way we have this in English. And then we have the next letter like this. And this is pay. The name of this letter is pay, and the sound of this letter is po.
Per.
Okay,
Okay,
pay
sir.
or
Mhm.
po. And English P doesn't like doesn't sound like English, but it sounds like in English we call it p, but in Russian it sounds like re or r. Whistling tongue, re, r.
Right.
Okay, not
R.
Hindi wala r. Whistling tongue, r.
R.
Okay, r. Yes. And then we have the next letter, and this is S or S. This is S or S. Sounds like
S.
English S. S. Okay.
Okay.
And then we have the next letter Te or Th. This sounds like Te, sounds like Te
The.
or Th.
The.
And again, Russians don't know how to, because their tongue or their they are not used to basically of T sound. In English we say talk. You
Mhm.
might see Russians having this basically not a problem because they are not accustomed to this toe sound. In English we call it talk, okay, but in Russian they call it talk.
Talk.
Instead of talk they will say
Talk.
talk. Okay, this is how Russians say talk, and this is how we say talk. Okay, so whenever there is t sound they will have it as t instead of t. Okay,
Okay, sir.
fine. And then we have after this the new letter, and this sounds like oo, double oo. I mean double o in English. Cool, school, something like that. Cool, school.
Cool.
Okay, yes, cool or school. And then we have the next letter, and this is F or fo. This is like F or
F.
fo. English we have fo, F, letter F. Okay, and then we have this X of English, but this sounds like sometimes hey or ho or k or k, both. It exhibits two sounds basically. Okay, it exhibits two sounds. We will see later on in later classes, later stages,
Yes,
why
sir.
or when it sounds like hey or ho or k or k.
Her.
Okay,
Mhm.
we'll see later on. Fine. And
Mhm.
then we have the next letter, and the next letter is like this, like English you, we write you, but it's a little different than that, something like this, a tail like structure. uh, uh, okay, at the bottom corner, and this sounds like s, s,
Sir.
ts. Yes,
Okay.
say
Is
is the
it
name,
sir?
and yes, ts, ts, ts. WhatsApp, lights, bits, we
Okay.
say lights, bits, okay, or WhatsApp. Then we have this T and S together. Ts, ts, okay,
Sir.
ts, yes, ts. And then we have this later che or ch, che or
A.
ch,
Acha.
Sure. Okay. So this letter sounds like che, and name of this letter is che, and the sound is sure.
Sure.
Okay. And yes, and then we have the next letter, and this letter sounds like she, sh, she. The name is she, and the sound is sh, sh.
Sure.
Like in English, in Hindi also we have three types of so, so, sh. Okay, so
Okay.
similarly in Russian we have this say, s, so, then she, sh, and then the next one, just you may say a brother of this. Okay, and that looks like this. Okay, and this sounds like she, she, she,
Sure.
she, she. Okay, and after this we have pronunciation symbol, and this is called hard sign. This doesn't have any, sound. Okay, this
Okay.
doesn't have any sound, but it affects the sound of other letters. Okay, that we will see later on. But you may remember, and yes, in Russian there is no word starting with this, because this is, this doesn't have sound. This is just a silent symbol or sign. So no letter, no word starts with this hard sign. Okay,
Right.
and then we have this next letter, and this letter is, sometimes it's a confusing letter. It's hard consonant. We consider it as hard consonant. This is like ui, ui, u and I in English. Ui,
Ui.
ui. Okay, we don't have this, just very similar letters in Hindi or in English, but we may go as close as possible, close enough. I'm not saying this is the right or the absolute right sound, but yes, this is the closest possible sound that we can have, or one can have, maybe in Hindi or maybe in English. Okay, and then we have this small b looking letter, and this is called soft sign. Again, this doesn't have any sound of its own,
Mm-hmm.
but what does it do? It affects the, sound of other letters that we will see in coming classes, definitely. And then we have the next letter, and this is like a. Like in English we say bed, bed, bed. The sound of a. Okay,
A. Okay.
yes, and then we have the next letter, and this letter sounds like u, you,
U.
you, you. Okay, you. And the last letter that we have is the reversed r. It looks like r in a, inverted, you may say, image and reflection of r, and it sounds like yeah,
Yeah.
a, yeah. Okay, so this, these are a total of basically 33 letters in
Three
Russian.
letters. Right.
Yes, and you may see that uh, most of the letters are new to us. Only few of them you might have used in English, but most of them seems very new to us.
Very new.
And
Yes.
that's why first, yes, and that's why first and foremost task of ours, learning must be how we are going to, uh, memorize, or how we are going to, make ourselves familiar with these alphabets. This is the most challenging task, because we are now not kids. We don't have much time, and we can't, sit whole day and just, practice, practice, and practice again and again. Okay, so we will have some, shortcuts, some, special ways, not the traditional method, special methods, so that without putting in, that much effort, we can get the desired result. We can make ourselves familiar with these alphabets. Okay, that we will definitely see. But yes, as of now, these are the total 30 letters of Russian
Language.
alphabet. Yes, Russian language, Russian alphabets, and out of these, now let's talk about a little about the, vowels. If you have anything to ask till here, you may ask.
So I
Yeah,
have one
or
question.
yes, yeah.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know, so how many levels are there in Russian language?
Basically, in Russian also, like other European languages, Russian also has 6 levels. Okay, A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. Depending upon that, what is your goal? How much you want to acquire? Based on that, you can start from the basic, intermediate, and advanced. Okay, A1 and A2, you may consider them as beginners level. A1 is lower beginner, and A2 is upper beginner. Similarly, B1 and B2 comes under intermediate. B1 is lower intermediate, and B2 is upper intermediate. On a similar note, you may consider C1 and C2 as advanced levels, where
Mm-hmm.
C1 is lower advanced and C2 is upper
Upper
advanced level.
advanced.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the
Yes,
minimum
ma'am.
requirement for, applying any kind of a job after learning Russian language, sir?
Okay, okay. Basically, they ask for certificate or diploma in foreign languages, and most of the foreign languages, as much as I know, and they seek at least minimum B1 is must. Okay, and if you have B2 or C1, that then it's great. You will face less competition, and you are more prone to. I mean, more you have got more chances basically to get or to grab that opportunity, because the as many levels you will cover, that much competition, that much less competition you are going to face. That's the uh, uh, basically the thing which is happening, and which happens basically.
Mhm.
As much level you will acquire, or as much level you will be certified, that much less competition you will be facing while applying for the job. For example, B1 is very common. Most
Right,
of the people,
right.
or most of the candidates have the certification till B1. So if
Mm-hmm.
you are applying, then you will be in a long queue or long race. But if you have B2 or C1, then you will face very less competition, and you are good enough to go, you more chances of you to grab that opportunity. Okay.
So, one very important question I need to ask: some
Yes.
working
Yes, ma'am.
professional are approaching us for the learning Russian language. Okay, so
Okay.
basically, they don't have basic knowledge of Russian language, but they wanted to
Okay.
cover
Okay.
3 to 4 months.
Okay.
So, is it possible?
Okay. Yes, of course. Of course, we can have, other, because the things that I have told you, they are the, general Russian courses. Okay, A1, A2, B1, B2. They are general courses. Generally, one who wants to learn Russian I mean, for general purposes, or as a I mean, to clear the exams and all. But if you have a special purpose, special goal, then we can customize the course accordingly. But yes, one more thing I'd like to uh, make clear, like A1 and A2,
Mm-hmm.
this is the beginner level, and this remains same for all.
Yeah.
Same for all. The alphabet is not going to change, and the grammar and all are not going to change. But yes, what we will change, or what we will customize the vocabularies that we are going to use. We will use only those vocabularies which are useful, or which are fruitful for according to your goal. You have to first tell us that yes, my goal is this and this, and I want to cover within this time period. So what we will do, we will customize the course according to your need. Of course, as I have told, A1 and A2 will remain common, same for all. Okay, and what we can do, we just change the vocabularies, just for the use or ease of the learner to achieve their goal as early as possible. And yes, from B1 level, we customize things according to the full customization will happen according to, for example, if someone wants to pursue medical, we will train them according to the medical vocabularies, according to the uses. And if someone wants to have trade and business with Russian counterparts, then we will let them know how you I mean what are the table manners, what are the business manners, what are the phrases, what are the other aspects which they can use in their conversations with their counterparts. Yes.
All right, sir. So, thank you so much,
Okay.
sir. This was a very informative and very wonderful session today. And this is our first
Most
lesson.
welcome, ma'am.
So, for the next lesson, we are coming soon with the very interesting topic with Mr. Ankur, sir. So, thank you so much, sir. This
Sure.
was a very great session today. So, surely we'll meet again
Most welcome, ma'am.
with the new topic, sir.
Sure. Sure.
Thank you
Sure,
so
ma'am.
much.
Sure.
Thank you so
For
much.
sure. Most welcome. But take care.